What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna get dirty.
Okay.
I'm gonna dig up some dirt.
Okay.
But in all seriousness, with the new car being released, the Dingo, everybody and their mother is losing their shit over it. So I made this video to show you guys the comparison between the big three, the Octane, the Fennec, and the Dingo. And I'm going to show you guys each of their hitboxes, how the ball sits on the front of the car, and how they react to the map, and what you're visually seeing versus the actual hitbox of each of the cars. And then at the end of the video, you guys can make your own decision based on what knowledge I'm providing you, and you guys can choose which car you still want to play with or which car you might want to pursue to play with in the future. And once again, everybody, if you like the content I'm producing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button, hit all the buttons, because it helps me out immensely. I thank you guys so much. Every single one of you in the community are absolutely amazing. I can't tell you guys enough. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So let's get into it, everybody. So the way I'm able to do this is I have a program on my PC called Bacchus Mod, and I'm sorry if you guys are on console once again, but if you're on PC, you can download this plugin through Bacchus Mod's website, and it's super easy to use. What you'll do is you'll hit F2 and you'll pull up the launcher just like you would normally, and over here you have a little tab that says plugins. Now what I'm going to do is go over to Hitbox plugin, and I'm going to hit practice and currently equipped to the car. So just to make sure that's what's on, and to turn it off you would just hit off, but I'm going to go to practice, current equipped to the car, hit escape, it disappears, and we can now go into training. So this is the hitbox on the OG Octane. It looks pretty flush, doesn't it? So this is why a lot of people argue that nothing will ever beat the Octane, ever. So what you see is what you get. You can see that the back of the hitbox lines up with the tail lights, and you can see the front of the hitbox lines up with the nose. Pretty flush. I mean, you might have a little bit of the grill that's exposed and those fog lights and stuff, but other than that, this is what you get with this car. So one thing I like to do is while the hitbox is on, I like to jump up and get my car to stand on its back end, and you can see how it reacts to the map. It's sitting pretty flush there. You can see a little bit, I mean, the grass has an effect, but you can see a little bit of the spoiler sticking up. Put the car down, go onto the nose. Stand on the nose, you can see that it's literally balancing right on the nose. You can see the grill, see a little bit of the fog light, but like I said, the grass has an effect. And what you see pretty much is what you're getting with this car. Now here's the cool thing I like to do, is while this hitbox is on, I'll stand on the back end of the car, and with Bacchus Mod I can reset the ball to stand on top of my car. So I'm going to angle it just a little bit, and I'm going to keep spanning up on my D-pad to get the ball to be on the nose of my car here. And that is how you would air dribble, or the car would react to the ball, because the ball actually has its own hitbox too. So you can see that when the ball is actually hitting the top of the hitbox, it's balancing on the front of those fog lights. And you're not really getting anything different with this car. So that's why a lot of people argue that nothing's ever going to beat the Octane, because it really is just the pure hitbox, Octane hitbox. And that's why it's called the Octane hitbox. So as you can see, this is how this ball is reacting on the front of this car, and it'll just roll off and bounce away, and then I can replace it. And from the backside, you can see. All right, so now you guys have seen the original Octane. Let's go back and let's try the Fennec. Now, honestly, the Fennec personally is my favorite, just in my opinion. A lot of people prefer the Octane, some people love the Fennec. a lot of people now are picking the Dingo. So it really is just what flavor do you want. But as you can see again, the hitbox is hidden a little bit there in the back end of the Fennec. So you're going to lose a little bit of that bumper, probably to the rear wheel well. But the front end is lined up just as well as the Octane is. So you got to ask yourself, how often are you really hitting the ball with the back of your car to really notice that big of a difference? But the front end, it's pretty flush, even from a top view. You got a little bit of the front bumper there that's poking out a little bit, but you're not going to notice that little sliver. And if we stand on the back end, there you can see standing on the back end, you're losing the back part of the car into the ground up until the wheel well. But you can see the front end's, it's flush. You got that little nose piece poking out there. But let's do the test with the ball now to see how it bounces on the front of the car. Once again, it's pretty flush, just like the Octane. It's sitting up there nice and pretty. The ball's not going into the front of the car. And what you see is what you get. So if you're doing air dribbles or anything with the front of your car, or you're going up to hit the ball while the ball's in the air, and where you're seeing the cars lining up with the ball, that's where you're going to hit it. There's nothing really hiding there. Now, if we stand on the front end, like I said, the grass has an effect, but you can see where the hitbox is, and pretty much just the nose of the Fennec is sitting on the ground. You're not really losing too much there. All right, now let's go to the new one. Let's go to the baby, the Dingo. All right, here's the Dingo. So a lot of people were saying that it's kind of just a sedan version of the Fennec, but you can see where the back end is again. Looks like you're losing everything up until the rear wheel well. And the front end, you're actually losing a good portion compared to the Octane and the Fennec. You're missing up until that silver part of the bumper there. But let's do the ground test on the back. There you can see you lose the whole trunk into the ground up until the wheel well. Almost like the Fennec, but visually you're losing more because the trunk sticks out more on the Dingo than it does on the Fennec. But once again, like I said, how often are you using the back of the car to hit the ball? Let's do the nose test. There on the nose, the grass has its effect, but it looks like it's still almost to the wheels. So if we let the car fall out, yeah, you're losing that whole front little piece of the Dingo there into the ground, up until that back silver part there, where it wraps around the bumper. Now let's do the ball test. Okay. Well, compared to the Octane and the Fennec, what do you guys think? I mean, you can definitely see that the ball is going into the car. A pretty decent chunk compared to the Octane and the Fennec. Backside. Look at it from this point. You can see there. Even from there. You can see how the ball is going into the car. So on this car, if you go up for an aerial and you're trying to just nip it and just get a little piece of it, you better line it up with the wheels almost. Because if you say that, oh, the ball just went through my car, you're probably not lying with this one. Just a little bit though. But once again, I'm comparing it to the Octane and the Fennec, and it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, you can see how much of that ball is going into the front end of that car. All right, let's go back to main menu. We're going to grab the Octane again, and we're going to do a few more tests. So with the Octane, it may be a pure hitbox, but you can see the front end slopes down and you got that big chunk missing just visually, but it shouldn't affect your gameplay whatsoever with the ball on top. So if we put the ball on top of your car, we can see how it's bouncing or how it's going to ball dribble. And it just slopes right off that hitbox there. Doesn't actually slope off the nose of what you're seeing on the car. It falls off that hitbox. And there it goes. Let's go to the Fennec. So the Fennec, it still has that little slope portion, but a lot of people argue that the Fennec is just a square body car, and from the front, everything's square. It kind of fills the hitbox up a little bit more, but let's do the ball test. Here you can see how it bounces, rolls right off. Really not much different than the Octane, honestly. Not much different at all. But looks pretty good. Let's go to the Dingo. All right. So the Dingo looks pretty good. Kind of fills up that hitbox a little there. You got that little gap above the hood, but that's not going to affect anything. So let's see how the ball sits on top. Sits pretty good. Nice flat top. And rolls right off that front hitbox. Yeah. Really not much to hide there. It looks good. So dribbling with this car, it's going to feel just as good as the other ones. So guys, I hope you liked the video. What do you guys think? Please comment down below. Tell me what car you guys prefer. Do you like the Octane? Are you guys Fennec? Or do you like the new Dingo? Which one do you guys like and why? I want to hear some stuff from you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like the content I'm producing. Like the video, share it to your friends. Do whatever you want to do with it because I'm making these videos for you guys. I enjoy you guys. You in the community are amazing. I thank you guys so much for all the support that you give me. And until next time, see ya.